Budget 2022, Nirmala Sitharaman ready for paperless budget proposal. Here's the information. Union Budget 2022 will be presented by Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman on Tuesday, February 1 at 11 a.m. The Central Budget 2022 will be digital this year, just like last year. Nirmala Sitharaman will present the budget of 2022-23 as a paperless form last year, the Finance Ministry said. In a historic move, the Central Budget of 2021-22 was first delivered in a paperless format. That tradition will continue this year too. The Union Budget mobile app was also launched for trouble-free access to budget documents by members of Parliament, MPs, and the public. The Union Budget 2022-23 will also be available in the mobile app after the budget session is completed in Parliament on February 1, 2022. The budget app allows full access to 14 Union Budget documents, according to the government. It was also done last year. Union Budget 2022 will be presented by Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman on Tuesday, February 1 at 11 a.m. Since last year, the Finance Minister has embraced the Digital Budget Council to benefit Digital India. Union Budget 2022, dessert instead of halwa. What's the change in the Union Budget 2022? The Union Budget 2022-23 is set to be presented by Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman. He will present the budget in the Lok Sabha on February 1 next week. This budget will focus on promoting India's economic growth and maintaining financial discipline after the COVID-19 pandemic. New Delhi, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman has launched the Union Budget 2022-23. He will present the budget in the Lok Sabha on February 1 next week. This budget is focused on promoting India's economic growth and maintaining financial discipline after the COVID-19 pandemic. Coming in the midst of a new wave of corona pestilence, people are expecting more from this budget. In the meantime, the budget will not be paperless this time as it was last time, the Finance Ministry said in a statement. All members of the Lok Sabha are provided with a digital copy of the budget. In the wake of the epidemic, the halwa ceremony has not even been organized. What is the budget and what is the budget? Traditionally, budget printing work begins with the halwa ceremony. After this, all the officials preparing the budget will be locked in the basement of the ministry. Officials can meet anyone after the budget is presented in the Lok Sabha. However, this time the halwa ceremony is not organized. Officials and aides have been given a dessert in the budget. This is another change in the budgetary tradition of the central government. How to get a digital copy of a budget? The paperless budget will be the same as last time, the Finance Ministry said in a statement. This is a very useful idea in the COVID background. On the other hand, each of these will be available through the mobile app. Union Budget mobile app is available for this purpose. The app, available in both Hindi and English, can be downloaded from the Union Budget website. In addition, the app is also available on the App Store for Android and iOS. All budget documents are available on the website. Traditions have changed over the past 4 years. Nirmala Sitharaman's fourth budget will be presented this time. Sitharaman is set to become the first woman to present India's budget more than once. Prior to this, Prime Minister Indira Gandhi had first presented the budget, while Indira Gandhi was in charge of the Finance Ministry. Nirmala Sitharaman has made many changes in the budget tradition after taking over the monetary account. In the pre-independence leather briefcase, it was customary to budget. Instead, Nirmala Sitharaman presented the budget in the form of a ledger wrapped in red cloth. The changes that Nirmala Sitharaman took into account were the initiation of budget preparation without a paperless budget and halwa ceremony. Pre-budget consultation from today, December 15, first day's discussion with agriculture experts. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman will begin preliminary consultations on the Union Budget for 2022-23 from today, Wednesday, December 15. He will be meeting with experts in the field of agriculture and agro-product processing. Highlights. Central Budget Preliminary Session begins today, December 15. Finance Minister to consult with experts in agriculture and agro-products processing industry. The Union Budget is expected to come up on February 1, 2022. New Delhi, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman will begin preliminary consultations on the Union Budget of 2022-23 from today, Wednesday, December 15. He will be meeting with experts in the field of agriculture and agro-product processing. Discussions with industry boards, farmers' organizations, and financial experts. Growth rate is expected to double in the current financial year. The Reserve Bank of India, RBI, also said in its latest quarterly monetary policy review that GDP growth is expected to grow by 20% in 2021 to 22. 9.5%. However, the central government estimates that the government may have a monetary deficit of 6.8% of GDP. The finance minister will hold a consultation with various industry sectors starting Monday, December 15. The budget of 2022 to 23 is also being consulted. The Ministry of Finance said on Twitter that the consultation meetings will be held in a virtual manner. The finance minister will hold discussions with the agriculture and agro-processing industries at the beginning of the budget consultation. Next year's budget is being prepared with serious issues, including demand creation, job creation, and sustainable growth at a rate of 8%. Real GDP, gross domestic product, grew by 8.4%, year-on-year, in the second quarter of the financial year 2021 to 22. The monthly economic review report of the Ministry of Finance states that it has made more than 100% progress compared to 2019 to 20. The union budget is expected to come up on February 1, 2022. The budget session usually begins the last week of January. Demand, job creation, and economic growth are aimed at stabilizing the government at 8%. A supplementary budget is expected for this. The budget team headed by Minister Nirmala Sitharaman includes Finance Secretary T.V. Somnathan, Revenue Secretary Tarun Bajaj, Investment and Public Asset Accounting Secretary Tuhin Kantapande, Economic Affairs Secretary Ajay Seth and CEA Krishnamurthy E. Subramani. The number of cases of Omicron infection is so high that the government's budget should also address the consequences of overeating. GDP growth has been recovering from 4 consecutive quarters, despite the COVID-19 crisis. Only a few countries have achieved this. There are, however, inflation and other challenges. What is the longest and richest budget speech to date? India's budget is set to bring about drastic changes in all sectors of the economy. This budget session is considered one of the most significant events in the country. All sectors are awaiting the announcement of the finance minister in the budget session. India's finance minister Nirmala Sitharaman will announce her fourth union budget on February 1, 2022. As the country's budget is set to be announced at 11 a.m., here are some details on how long the Indian budget speech will last. The budget session will be held in 2 parts in the lower house of parliament. The first part is from January 31 to February 11 and the second part is from March 14 to April 8. The government convened an all-party meeting on January 31 to discuss budget session issues and legislative affairs. This all-party meeting will be held in virtual form. The budget session will begin with the President's speech at 11 a.m. the same day, followed by an economic survey. When was the budget session in the past? The Budget Council is an important event awaiting policy experts, businessmen, and every general. This is because this budget affects the overall financial plan of each household. Prior to 2016, the country's then finance minister announced February as the last working day. This system has been changed by former finance minister Arun Jaitley. The budget session is now on February 1. Significantly, it is important for the government to deliver clear speeches to deliver the right message to voters. What's the longest budget speech? The budget of India is long, as the budget session in India is on average 90 to 120 minutes. The Union Budget 2020-21 was presented by Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman on February 1, 2020. He has delivered a total of 2 hours and 42 minutes of budget speech. Nirmala Sitharaman was unwell as budget was speaking. The speaker then made the rest of the speech. The speech was longer than the 2-hour and 17-minute long speech made in July 2019. What is the smallest, richest budget speech? In 1977, former Finance Minister Hirobhai Mulchibhai Patel made a budget of just over 800 words. This speech is considered the smallest budget speech to date. In terms of the number of words, if we compare, the budget speech of the then Prime Minister Manmohan Singh and the then Finance Minister in the Narasimha Rao government in 1991 was a long budget speech of 18,650 words. The first central budget speech of the late R.K. Shanmugam Chetty was short. It only had 39 paragraphs.